Hey guys, welcome back to the Italian Stallion Podcast. Today's hump day, March 30th, 2022. We're in our dorm room at Notre Dame, Indiana. How you doing?
Luke and I are back for another banger of an episode. We're here from the University of Notre Dame. We're both currently studying in the College of Arts and Letters if you're new here.
Today, we're going to be talking about the mighty grand tour of Europe. And we will be telling you what's going to be going on as we study abroad next semester. But before we get started, this episode is going to be brought to you by Rick Steves Tour Guide. Rick Steves' European tours are led by a dozen energetic, hand-picked tour guides, all of whom share Rick's same passion for Europe, for traveling and teaching. They've interviewed a number of Rick's guides for monthly tour news. Many have also appeared as guests on Rick's radio show, Travel with Rick Steves. Rick Steves' tour guide actually helped us a lot for planning our trip. They helped us for what to bring with us, what to visit, and where to stay. So check them out at www.ricksteves.com if you're planning on going anywhere for vacation.
We are both extremely thrilled about this extravagant trip, and we are prepared to share the amazing plan that we have for you. We both have to pack our bags with enough toiletries, comfortable clothes, casual clothes, and pajamas for about a week. We'll end up washing them because we're going to be staying for more than a week.
Yeah. We're going to be starting off by studying at Oxford University while abroad, and we'll start off our trip in London, England. We're planning to visit the Buckingham Palace, Big Ben Tower, and we're probably also going to visit the British Museum. We'll be in London for the whole semester, so we'll really get a feel for what it's like there.
Wow, that is actually really cool. I can't wait for my experience there. Cost for us in London was all included in our room and board for our study abroad for Notre Dame along with the food. Our room and board is around $16,000.
So, getting to London, though, for while we study at Oxford, it's going to be an 8-hour flight on JetBlue to London for us. Tickets for us both combined are $844. And for the next destination on our trip, we're going to fly from London to Paris, France.
In Paris, we will visit the amazing Eiffel Tower. I've always wanted to see it in person, and I'm very excited for this to finally happen. Are there any French treats that you were looking forward to?
You know, Christian, I actually was doing some research and I found a blog called Learn French. Let's talk about some things that I found. Hold on, let me open this up. Alright, so we got some... I didn't know crepes were French. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's got a little, triangle on the top of the E. That's cool. We got some beef stew called beef bourguignon. What else we got? Ratatouille, kind of like the movie.
Yeah.
Give
us one more. Give us one more.
One more?
Yeah.
Steak tartare. We gotta try that.
Steak tartare. Yeah, we do.
have to see that. Okay.
Along with visiting the Eiffel Tower, we were also going to visit the Notre Dame Cathedral. I feel like we gotta go see this. We go to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of things about the cathedral. Didn't it catch on fire a few years ago or something?
You're really right on that one. Christian, it actually did in April 2019. Hopefully they're done restoring it by the time we can go see, so we can see what it's really like. In Paris, we'll be staying in a hostel called Les Poisses Belleville, which is going to run us about $120 a night, which is not terrible. We're going to be staying there for about 2 nights in Paris.
Next, we would head to the train station to catch a train from Paris to the Netherlands. It's going to take about 3.5 hours to get there and will cost us each $35.
Yeah, so the train's going to take us all the way to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. We're going to be settled by staying in a hotel, calling the Intel Hotels in Amsterdam Zaandam. It actually looks really cool on the outside and looks like houses are stacked on top of each other. But it's modern inside. It's cool but weird, This place is going to cost us only $80 a night. It's pretty cheap in Amsterdam. And we're going to be staying for 4 nights. That's a little cheaper.
We'll start off in the Netherlands by going on a boat and seeing the Jordan-Amsterdam canals. We love to observe the architecture of all the buildings throughout our trip, and this one especially should be fun.
Yeah, the pictures of the canal that we're looking at right now, reminds me of Venice when I went there in the past, which we'll be visiting later on. The next place we want to visit is Anne Frank's house. So, there's not much to go in the Netherlands, not much to do there, Not much of a tourism place. So we'll head out about after 2 days, head to Germany, and explore Munich.
The first place we'll go to in Munich is the Marienplatz and the Neues Rathaus. It looks like a giant square surrounded by large buildings like the Marienplatz and the Neues Rathaus. A lot of people seem to hang around there because there are markets there, and it's just a big area where people can just hang out and really just buy whatever they need, and kids play around.
Yeah, that's awesome. So after we buy some souvenirs from the market, we're gonna head to the Olympic Park. I'm a massive fan of the Olympics, so I'm really excited to be able to see a park in person. And the pictures just look fascinating online.
Yeah. Our final destination in Munich is going to be a beer hall. It is legal for us to go to this hall because the drinking age is 16 in Munich. We'll both try beer for the first time in the Hofbrauhaus.
So before I talk about this, do you remember Mr. Bushko from high school?
Yeah, I do remember Mr. Butchka.
So I took that Holocaust and Genocide Studies class, and he told me that beer hall used to be where Nazis had meetings and stuff like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but
Wow, that is really cool information that Mr. Butchko told you.
yeah.
Next, we'll actually did not even plan on going to Switzerland, but when researching, I found that Alps are a must-see according to theplanetware.com. Specifically, the Matterhorn, which is one of the highest points in the Alps at 4,478 meters.
So since we are solely going to visit the Alps, we're gonna stay in a village called Zermatt. In Zermatt, we're gonna be splurging as we're there for the view and to be close to the mountains, since that's the reason why we're there. So we're gonna be staying just for 2 nights because it's a little pricey at the Mont Cervin Palace in Zermatt. It's gonna run us $1,428. However, this hotel is all inclusive, so food is included, which helps us out a little bit.
Honestly, I think I'm going to like Switzerland the most out of all the places we are going to. After this, we're going to start our time in Italy. We will begin with Venice. We're going to go to the Galleria dell'Accademia, Piazza San Marco, and St. Mark's Basilica.
We're mostly gonna be traveling in a Sandola, which is like an Italian canoe, because Venice doesn't really have roads; they just have rivers that run through it. So this is what I was actually referring to before in the past at the Jordan-Amsterdam canals that I saw. But the Sandolas are pretty pricey, and they're gonna cost about $75 per hour that we ride.
Actually, I did some research on the Sandolas, and according to VenetioInside.com, the most used boats for Venetian-style rowing, since their structure allows for smooth rowing on the lagoon, even on only a few inches of water, where other boats get into trouble or even get stranded. What was the food called that you told me to try when you went to Venice?
I feel like when you go to Venice, you have to try Bugoli with some nice fine wine. It's basically just a thicker version of spaghetti, and it's delicious. We're going to be staying at my cousin's house, actually, for 4 days.
Next is the biggest part of the trip, Rome. We are first going to visit what I believe is the most famous piece of Roman architecture, which is the Colosseum, along with the Ark on Constantine on the first day.
I agree with it being the most famous piece of architecture. On the next day, we're going to visit Vatican City.
Fun fact alert, the Pope stays in the Vatican City.
What?
For our last place on our visit to Rome, we're going to visit the Roman Forum. It was between this and the Pantheon, but we felt that we would be more intrigued by seeing the Roman Forum.
This time in Rome, instead of staying with family that I know, we're going to be staying with a random family that's going to be taking us in. They're going to be letting us stay in Rome for 2 weeks with them, and will join us on our tourism and tell us about everything we need to see. We'll also be spending lots of time with them.
I think staying with people like this is really cool because we could really enjoy the experience all around.
I agree.
Next up, our final step in Italy is Florence. We're going to visit the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore and the Piazza Duomo on one day, and the Battistero di San Giovanni on another day. The pictures of the cathedral look amazing, and I can't wait to see it.
Me too. My Nono actually told me about it, and it's making me antsy to finally see it.
Our final destination on this fantastic, excellent, luxurious, and beautiful trip is Madrid, Spain.
You're a familiar foe with Madrid, aren't you, CeeLo?
Yes, I was there for a month last summer. I visited the Royal Palace, the Prato del Sol, and the Prado Museum. They were all very cool. I would love to take you there in Madrid and show you around.
I would love that. In Spain, I also want to try new foods. Anything you recommend from the past?
I would recommend a nice snack of prosciutto and bread. And as a main course, I would eat a nice fresh fish like a squid.
The best part is, our sponsor of the episode hooked us up with a 1-week stay at the most high-end hotel in Madrid, the Mandarin Oriental Ritz. I remember when I went to another Ritz, which was in the Cayman Islands, they knew our names right when we walked in, as if I'd met them before.
That is pretty cool. Okay, I think we reached our time limit on today's episode of the Italian Stallion. Any last words from you, Luke?
I'm just excited to get this journey started with you.